As many of you may know, I spend a lot of my time working with Australian farmers. I absolutely love it. I get to work out how we're able to help and where that help is needed. Well, you can help too, and you don't need to head out bush to do it. It's all about how you shop. That is a very strange looking carrot, isn't it? But believe it or not, veggies like this actually have superpowers. They can help reduce waste. They'll keep our rural communities thriving as well. You see, an ugly carrot like this in the old days would simply get chucked out. No one would use it. But these days, they get popped into an odd bunch bag. You get to buy them, save some money in the process, and you're doing some good. And what can we do with a carrot like this? I'm thinking cottage pie. The first thing we need to do is to slice up some onions, chop some garlic. We'll just saute this off in a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Chop down the carrots into little pieces, but don't worry about being too precise. I mean, let's face it, the carrots aren't exactly precise. Once they're done, they can go straight in the pan. Righty, at this point, I need to make a confession. I was supposed to add some mixed dried herbs when we started frying off the onion, but, you know, it doesn't make too much difference. You can add it a bit later. It's all good. Plus, we're going to add another one of our odd bunch vegetables, this time tomatoes. Just want to seed them, chop them, and chuck them in. Now, if you wonder what makes these ones odd, well, it's really simple. You see that tiny little mark on the skin? It's actually completely natural. It was where it was growing up against a vine. Well, as far as I'm concerned, it makes no difference. Anytime you cook with tomatoes, though, you need to respect the fact that they do have acidity in them. So I always add a little bit of brown sugar and then some red wine vinegar. Then it is really important to season it generously with both salt and pepper. Now, the salt's important because it's going to draw some moisture out of the veggies, which helps to turn it into a sauce. The pepper, well, it adds some flavour. And then we need to let it simmer. It does depend a little bit on your veggies as to how long that'll be, but somewhere between, I don't know, say 15 minutes and half an hour. Once it has softened, we are going to mix in a can of lentils. Very good for you. In fact, speaking of things that are good for you, why not add some chopped spinach? Not just healthy, but convenient too. It's really colourful, it's great. As you can probably imagine, once you get these spinach leaves in, they only take a minute or two to soften and wilt, so better turn the heat off. There we go. Now, when you're making a cottage pie like this, you need your base, which is, of course, the vegetable mix, but you also need your potatoes on top. That's my next job. All you need to do is to steam some spuds, just until they're tender. Right, we're going to crush those in a bowl. Along with a little bit of nutmeg for flavour and some butter. You can probably tell this is a bit of a rustic mash, which is exactly what I want. I need the texture on the top of our cottage pies, but we do need cream. It does need to be hot, and you do need to stir it through. Well, it's looking pretty good, but you know, one extra thing we could do, as part of this range, they also have lemons. So a little squeeze of lemon would really freshen it up beautifully. Then all that remains is to grab some baking dishes. Individual ones like this are perfect. They're about, I don't know, 1.5, maybe 2 cups in size. Spoon in your vegetables. Top it off with some potato. And a little bit of cheese on top, only if you want to. Now, to cook these, they're gonna need to bake for, I guess, like 20 minutes or so at 180 degrees, just until they are golden on top. But you better keep an eye on them. The best thing about having some time off while dinner bakes is you can make new friends, but I can smell it ready in the oven, I think. Let's have a look. What we're looking for is a lovely golden brown crust. Absolutely brilliant. Now, what you'd serve this with is entirely up to you. Oh, some greens, some salad, it really doesn't matter. You want some more healthiness, I would imagine. But if you reckon those vegetables were a little bit odd, believe me, there's nothing odd about wanting a second helping of this. So maybe do a double batch and you can have some more tomorrow.